Hey there guys, this is Cole. I'm gonna do 5 videos, quick, short videos. Today's video I'm gonna be starting off with is my top 5 favorite John Carpenter movies. Now, John Carpenter is one of the most beloved, iconic horror movie directors of all time, mainly for the first Halloween movie from 1978, but he's also directed some other great movies. So, without further ado, let's get into my top 5. Coming in at number 5 is going to be the 1976 action movie Assault on Precinct 13. Now, this movie did have a remake in 2005 with Ethan Hawke, which I did like the remake, but even though I like the remake, it's nowhere near as good as this original classic right here. Essentially, it's an action movie where you basically have like a group of police officers that have to stop these criminals from escaping the 13th precinct in this jail. And it's a rather exciting action movie from the 70s, and this was definitely one of John Carpenter's first big movies before he did Halloween, which we'll get to that. But yeah, this is an action classic, and yeah, I'll have to review it someday. Coming in at number 4 is going to be Big Trouble in Little China from 1986, starring Kurt Russell, which, believe it or not, this is actually the movie that inspired the Mortal Kombat video games, mainly due to like how some of the enemies look and stuff like that, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, Big Trouble in Little China is a great movie. You know, you got Kurt Russell as the lead character, really good action scenes. I think that the humor in this movie is rather funny. The only reason it's not higher on the list is because, well, I'm not really a big fan of the ending. I think the ending's a little too abrupt because it teases a sequel and they never did one back in the day. But other than that, Big Trouble in Little China, awesome action movie from the 80s. Coming in at number 3 is going to be They Live from 1988. Now, this is an action sci-fi movie that my dad first introduced me to back in 2020, and I've been a huge fan of it ever since then. I mean, They Live has such an interesting premise for a movie where it's basically a movie about this character played by Roddy Piper who basically he finds out that all the people running our society, most of the people in the government running our society are not actually people. They are aliens disguised as human beings. And Roddy Piper's character, he basically comes across like these sunglasses where he can see who's human and who's not. And him and Keith David have to team up to fight the bad guys, which that right there is a very cool premise for a sci-fi action movie. And of course, it has one of the best movie quotes from a classic 80s action movie. I've come here to chew bubblegum and kick the A word, and I'm all out of bubblegum. Like that scene is absolute comedic gold, and just yeah. Great movie. The only reason it's not higher is, again, I'm not the biggest fan of the ending with how abrupt it is, but other than that, They Live is a great action movie and definitely one of John Carpenter's best movies. All right, now coming in at number 2. Now, these 2 movies I'm going to talk about are the only ones I have on DVD in this collection. And coming in at number 2 is going to be the 1978 slasher movie, Halloween. Yeah, the movie that kicked off the whole Halloween franchise, and this was the very first movie that Jamie Lee Curtis ever starred in. But yeah, Halloween from 1978. I mean, what more can I say about this classic that has not already been said by many people? It's a great movie, you know. There's a reason that when this movie came out, it received positive reviews from critics and audiences, and there's a reason to this day, 47 years later, that it's considered to be one of the greatest horror movies of all time. I mean, Michael Myers is an iconic horror movie villain. Jamie Lee Curtis is really good as the main character, Laurie Strode, and very likable character, and just yeah, excellent movie, really good story, and a movie that I watch every October. But for me, coming in at number 1 is going to be the 1982 science fiction horror movie, The Thing, starring Kurt Russell. This movie right here is just pure perfection. I mean, what more can I say about The Thing that hasn't already been said? The Thing from 1982 by many critics, by The Thing from 1982, by both critics and audiences, is considered to be one of the greatest horror movies of all time, and I agree with that. I mean, this movie has a great story where basically you have this lead character played by Kurt Russell who leads a team of scientists in Antarctica, and they have to deal with this really creepy, grotesque alien creature that can basically transform into whatever it kills, and it can disguise itself as like either a person or like whatever animal it kills. Like, very creative idea, and just, yeah, excellent movie all the way around, and it is easily my favorite John Carpenter movie. So yeah, there we go, guys. That was my list of my top 5 favorite John Carpenter movies. A bit of a shorter video, but that's okay. I want to hear from you guys down below in the comment section. What's your list? But yeah, bye bye now.